All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. Mind your money. And recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I found it! Oh my God, yes. And we found a time capsule. All right, guys, we did it. We found a time capsule.
On this episode of All Over the Road New Orleans, we're going back in time with the king of all podcasting, revisiting some of those memorable moments.
2023 Time Capsule.
Here at All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast, we'd like to thank all of our listeners, followers, and subscribers for 4 good seasons, and welcome to the show.
Going back in time on AOTR's Time Capsule Candid Phone Calls.
Hey, Luke.
Man, what kind of podcast is this? You guys, I'm sitting here talking, saying hello. I'm not getting a response. I feel like I'm talking to my wife.
It's me. It's not you. Yeah. It's not me. It's you. It's you. It's not me. It's me. It's not you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Luke Hawks. Now, Luke, fill us in. I mean, I'm still waiting for this Heel show to come on. What do you know? Do you know anything?
What's going on? End of July. It's coming out on Stars Network at the end of July. They finally made some kind of small little release about probably maybe 2 months ago. But they said Stars Network will be releasing season 2. Sometime July, towards the end of July, and that's all we know as right now. Yeah. Let's hope it comes out soon, and let's hope that it crushes numbers, on television, and we go into a season 3. But, that's a long ways away. We got to get through season 2 first, and we're really excited about season 2.
I just think they made a major mistake by waiting this long. I don't get
it. I think it was a little bit out of their ballpark, though, because what happened was, I think we discussed this, that Stars and Lionsgate did a separation. Stars got sold. So they had to figure out which brand got what. And they put us with Stars. They kept us with Stars. So, and then, like I said, I think Stars is going to be rebranded anyway, so we'll see how that goes. It may be more beneficial, of course, it may not, but we definitely will see.
Some of those streaming shows do that, though, like they wait instead of going right into another, within a few months or maybe even a year.
Maybe that's what
they like that Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He does whatever he wants. Of course, I guess he's in that place he could do that.
But it's been 2 years since we've been on.
Yeah,
it's been 2 years.
So
this summer, August will be 2 years. So we debuted in August of 2020, I believe.
Yeah.
No.
It's been a while. Yeah.
August of 2021. Yeah.
So all of season 2 has been filmed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we finished that July 1st. That was the last day. So you guys think we went off the air October of 2021. So this October, we're not coming back on to July. So it's pretty much a 2-year hiatus since the show aired.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes between now and July, we got to get you up here, and you got to get me my interview with my girl.
Who's your girl?
Oh, man, with Allison. Yeah, we got Allison Love. Yeah, we got to do that.
I've been waiting 3 years for that interview.
Long overdue.
Long overdue. So are you working on anything now you can talk about? You got an event coming up? Talk to me.
Ooh, let's see what I got going on right now. So to be honest, let's see. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff in the can coming out over the summer and the fall. But since the beginning of the year, I did a little TV show in Charlotte called Blue Ridge last month. Mm-hmm. And then I just been at home, really kind of, the writers are on strike right now. So, that's kind of got some, there's a little pause right there.
Right.
But I've been focusing on just staying and getting healthier and some stuff at home with some relationships and things of that nature. Because work, this is the first time I've had a little break in a few years. Where I've had a nice little chance to catch up on everything. So I've just been trying to really knock out all the things that are priorities in my life that I had to put on the back burner for a little bit due to filming. So, it's going good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And we're working, man. We're working towards it. And, I'll start gearing up with some other projects here. I just right now, we're between seasons on Young Rock. We're waiting to see if we get picked up for season 4 on that. And then we're also, between seasons on Heel. So we don't know if we're going to get picked up for the 3rd season on that. So I haven't really went and just hit the pavement running, trying to find work because I'm technically obligated to both jobs if they come back. And I want to be at both jobs, not just an obligation. I want to be with both companies because I enjoy working with both companies.
Yeah.
So, I'm not, until I get a word on what's really going on with them, I'm not going to go hunt work because I don't even know if I'm able to go take work right now. I can day play, if somebody wants to hire me to go work on a film, short term, I can, but I haven't tried to, make that big commitment into something, which I do want to do, but I need to make sure before I do that, I need to make sure these projects are not coming back. Which in my preference, in my world, I want these projects to come back. I don't want to work on them because my heart is with these two projects. But if something in the foreseeable future happens and they don't come back, then I will, I will make the step in the next direction there.
You're listening to All Over the Road, the podcast with Victor Del Giorno with 10 Sepper. On the phone with me is my very dear friend. I consider him family. His name is Luke Hawks of Wildcat Sports.
For life.
Project Power. I mean, Heels. Just name him. Young Rock. He plays Stone Cold Steve Austin, and his career is just taking off like crazy. How's PJ doing? How's your boy doing? What's he doing?
PJ's all right. To be honest, I haven't spoken to him much lately. I've been on the go in other places, so not sure what he's working on currently at the moment. I think he's just gearing up for his wedding next week. So he's getting married next week. Yeah, he's getting married next week. So I think he's just been focusing on that.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, he's probably. I think he's been focusing on that for a while now. So, he's wrestling though. He's got a big show coming up. I know they got their show May 20th at the Wildcat Show, which I took a little time. I took a little time off for wrestling. So I am not wrestling currently at the moment. I don't know if you guys know that.
I didn't know that. Why? Tell me why.
Yeah.
I was just overwhelmed, with so much filming and trying to make. I would be booked on a show on a weekend, and I'd have a filming commitment, and I mean commitments for months at a time, and I have no days off. And you're trying to get on the flight early in the morning Saturday to go fly up to New York or wherever, and then you rush Saturday night, and then you're on the first flight out Sunday, and then you're back to filming Monday morning. And there's no sleep, there's no rest. And I was like, it's too much right now. I need to take a little time.
Something. Right.
Yeah. Something had to take the back seat a little bit. So, and not, it's also the time. I've been wrestling for 25 years in there. Mm-hmm. And, my body, I'm getting older. I feel good. I feel great. It's just, it was time to just, hey, I had to take a step back somewhere. And as physical as wrestling is, if I couldn't also the same thing is like, there was really nothing currently that I had my heart into a direction where I wanted to go with wrestling. For years, my direction was wrestling. And then that was successful and it led to film. And that also opened up a lot of doors for my guys in film. Mm-hmm. And I knew that was a better opportunity for myself and my guys. So I didn't quit wrestling. I just I'd take some time off where I can focus more on the bigger things in life and the more opportunities for not only just myself and my guys, which in turn, the bigger I do in film, the better the wrestling is, right? And the more credentials I get in wrestling and everything. So it works out. It's just, I had to take a little step back. So it's been good. The first time in my life, I've actually taken some time off from wrestling. And, I'm feeling good. Like I said, I feel healthy. I'm training hard. I'm working hard. And I'll come back when I feel like I have a reason to come back. Right now, I don't have a reason to come back. The guys are running Wildcat well. The shows are doing well. Matt Lancey, Jay Spade, they're putting Wildcat together, and they're keeping everything running fluidly. And it also gives them an experience to run events and not have me there pounding on them and telling them what to do. These guys have to learn by making some mistakes and, or not making mistakes, like going with their own ideas. And that's where we're at, man. It's good. It's a good place. But May 20th, John Curtis Christian High School, Wildcat Sports is back. Tickets are on sale now at wildcatsports.com, WILDKAT sports.com, Wildcat Sports. Cat with K, maybe.
Yeah. I knew this day would come because I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was about a year ago when we sat on my back porch. Remember? You were sitting on the back porch, and you were just so overwhelmed with things. You had all this going on. You were overwhelmed. We were just talking, kind of brother to brother, And
you gave me a book.
And I gave you that book. And I just knew that this day would come where you would just know that you had to kind of slow it down a little bit. The career is going to be there. You got the credentials. You're in demand. And, I applaud you for doing what you're doing and taking the time off and, concentrating on your health and that kind of stuff. Because, from what I understand, didn't you hit the big 4-0 this year pretty much?
No, I'll actually be 42 here next month.
Oh, well, see, time flies when you're on diet pills.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, 2 months. July 8th, I'll be 42.
Yeah. Okay.
But I look like I'm 30.
You do. You look fantastic, buddy. look fantastic.
Well, you said you're trying to get in shape. I think he's always been in shape, as far as I can see.
There's
But,
a shape, and then these
yeah.
athletes like this, they their shape, and then there's
Bring it
their-
up
their
another
kind of shape,
notch, right?
Yeah, well, we go through different seasons. Sometimes you got to
Right.
bulk and get strength training. Sometimes we're doing cutting and shredding up for photo shoots or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think right now I'm focusing on. I'm going to focus on doing a little shred for a photo shoot. I like to do a photo shoot around my birthday time, and I've been doing it for the last 3 years. So and I'm just trying to get in different shapes. Either how I'm feeling. It also depends on my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't. If I got a really hard schedule, I can't really strength train because strength training, power training takes a lot out of you, and you got to stay pretty consistent on it. So like I could actually do that right now if I wanted to, but I want to focus on getting a little. I want to shred up as much as I can, and I think now's a good opportunity. Like
me too.
Yeah,
I
who
need to
doesn't,
shred.
right?
I need to shred myself. I will tell you this. I still get all my supplements from Isatori. And,
100%.
and you just can't beat this, Ted, when you go to get supplements. If you use the promo code HAWX, HAWX, I'm telling you, I can get the same amount of product. It's a better product, too, from Isatori
100%.
than I would get from a GNC. And what it would cost me $500 at GNC, it cost me like $200 with Isatori.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's no BS. That's not a selling tactic. That is everything's FDA approved. Everything's genetically made in the lab. We're owned by FitLife Brands that owns 11 other brands that are great as well as with it. But I'm an Isatori athlete, and I predominantly use the Isatori and the PMD stuff. But Isatori has been my go-to for forever. And like, look, I have a deal. I'm not trying to sell. I'm just saying this is how affordable it is. I have a deal, a little package. You get pre-workout and protein, a jug of protein and a jug of pre-workout for $41.99. It's high quality, best stuff on the market. I mean, the pre-workouts are 7-in-1, so you got a lot of recovery there. It's called the Morph X5, and then our protein is bioactive whey protein. So you get 25 grams per serving, only less than 2 grams of sugar per serving. No artificial fillers or any of that stuff. So you're getting a protein and a pre-workout for $41.99 with the code.
It's a great deal. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's a special on there. Anybody can use that code. What is it again?
Anybody. HAWX, HAWX.
HAWX.
Okay.
If you want the combo deal though, if you go to isatori.com.
Yeah.
If you go to isatori.com and you head over to the athlete section, click on my picture on the athlete section, and you'll see my specials. Not only just like the code, but you'll see like that's a special deal. The protein pre-workout, it's the HAWX bundle package.
Right.
So I do the click on that.
I do the protein. I do the BioGrow. I do the Morph.
Yeah,
it's just great stuff. It's just I'm so glad you turned me on. But it's safe to say then now with your schedule being where it is, maybe we can get you in here sometime in June up here.
Actually, it's funny that you asked it. I was meant to call you this week coming. Not this week we're in. I was going to call you next week because I'm still in the middle of some stuff here and see if you want to grab lunch. So,
Definitely.
You beat me to the punch.
Definitely. I'm coaching 6-year-old baseball. That's another story. That's how me and Luke met. Was I coached him baseball.
That's right. Yeah.
And so now I got my 2 grandsons now, Luke. You got to see it. It's pretty. They're 6 years old. Those games are like they're widely attended. Widely.
I was gonna say I want to come to a game.
Luke, thanks a lot, buddy. And yes, let's grab lunch soon, and we'll get you in here next month. I'll be in touch. Put it on me. It's on me. Okay.
Love you guys. Miss you guys. Thanks for reaching out.
Luke Hawx, ladies and gentlemen.
Same here, Luke. Talk to you soon.
A staple of this program and a staple call on a special 2-part.
Candid phone calls. You never know who's going to get on the line. We called him. He called us back.
Yeah.
He's been on numerous times. Always good to get an update on what Luke's up to, and he's up to a lot.
The All Over the Road New Orleans Time Capsule, revisiting memorable moments that we know you want to hear again and again.
You're probably saying to yourself, what do I do with this excess money that I have in my bank account? I think everybody should have some cash reserve. But when it gets into like a bunch of money, you're not making any interest on it, and it's just there for the taking. If everybody tried to withdraw money out of the bank, all the banks have crashed. The banks don't have this money. The money doesn't exist. Try to go to the bank and get $10,000 out. Good luck to you. Well, there's an answer to the sideline cash problem. There's an answer to, possible banks collapsing. There's an answer to securities collapsing. There's an answer to a possible depression. It's possible. And that is GOLD, gold. It's been around for 5,000 years. And Coin Trader Inc., they're your go-to people when it comes to precious metals, gold, and rare coins. They are experts in all of those areas. They will tailor a plan just right for you and your family. You might want to take care of the grandkids. You might want to do something for the wife. You might want to do something for the retirement. This is retirement insurance. This is financial insurance. You can't be without it, and it's tangible. They don't send you a piece of paper. They send you the real stuff discreetly in the mail. So give them a call. It's Coin Trader Inc., proud sponsors of this podcast, 504-267-6004, and tell them the king of all podcasting sent you. Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money, baby.
AOTR Time Capsule takes you to the time we talked to Louisiana Secretary of State candidate Brandon Trosclair.
Hello, Secretary of State.
Hey, ¿cómo se busca?
Hey, Brandon Trosclair.
Yeah. The Brandon Cross on the
There
big
you
show.
go.
On the big show. Round of applause for the man.
Yeah.
Brandon, I'm Victor Del Giorno. I host the show with your friend Ted here, and we welcome you to this wonderful podcast that goes around the globe and
It goes around a couple times.
and
then it circles back and it circles again. Yeah. It's called All Over the Road, New Orleans.
Well,
Brandon.
fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to be talking to you, man. So you're running for Secretary of State, and Vic and myself were just sitting here before we called you, and we're like, what does Secretary of State do?
Well, here's my question, Brandon.
We don't want to sound like a bunch of idiots, but we're going to find out from you because, of
This
course.
is my question, okay?
Yeah.
It's this, Ted.
This is the question.
Okay, let's say you got the governor, right, Brandon? Okay, he dies. Okay, so who takes over? The lieutenant governor, right? And let's say he dies. Then you take over. No?
Is that how it works?
Is that how it works?
I guess that's how it works.
See?
There you go.
Simple.
You're like third in line.
It's third in line. It's an important position.
So why don't you just run for governor?
Well, we got terrible elections here in Louisiana, and so that's why I'm running for Secretary of State. We got a terrible process here.
Yeah, that's I guess that is the reason why you decided to run for Secretary of State. And we have a mutual friend who told me you were running just 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had no idea, and that you decided to run. I know you ran for state rep. Was that what year was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
It was 4 years ago.
4 years ago, okay, and
Yes,
you really came close on that. I think you lost by a couple hundred votes, right?
Yeah, about 200 votes out of 13,000. We lost by 200.
Yeah, and that was what district or whatever they call it was that?
That's District 88.
88.
Ascension Parish.
Yeah, it's Ascension
Where are
Parish.
you originally from, Brandon?
Oh, from God's country, right there in Ascension Parish in Gonzales.
And what little city or town?
In Gonzales.
Gonzales.
Yeah, Gonzales.
Dude, it's exit 177.
Yeah.
Exit 177.
Now, Brandon's
That's
family.
where the action is.
And people in Ascension, and then outside of Ascension, will know Brandon's family.
Yeah.
They run the Ralph's Market supermarkets and have for years and years. And Ronnie and Vicky are Brandon's mom and dad, and they actually are retired, I guess, for the most part right now, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. And so then Brandon, who's been running the business, basically is the guy there now. Yeah. And I always knew that you had an interest in politics because you told me this, years ago. Like, I want to, have an interest in that. Even, 10, 15 years ago. And then I know you ran, like you just said, you ran for representative, came up a little short. And then I think don't you hold some kind of appointed position now?
Well, it's not appointed. It is elected as well. So I'm on the Republican Executive Committee in Ascension Parish. I was elected to, and then also elected to the State Central Committee. That's the leadership for the LA GOP.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So it is an elected position, right? I wasn't sure on that.
Correct.
So what, well, first of all, tell us.
Yeah, a little about yourself.
How about yourself?
How old are you?
Yeah, you're a young guy.
A young fella, huh?
I'm a young guy. I just went over to here. I turned 40 a few months ago. And as y'all said, I'm in the grocery business. I have 13 grocery stores across South Louisiana and into Mississippi. And then, like you also said, I've always been involved in the community, involved with interest in politics. And my take on it is that, I feel like we get a lack of our return on investment in the form of our tax dollars. And I'm not going to sit on the sideline and accept poor performance from government, and that really at every level, that I'm going to do something about it.
I applaud you because you're a real guy. You're a good guy, and you want to take this on. I would say just me. I would just say the heck with it. I don't even want to mess with it.
Like somebody else will do it.
Yeah.
And that's Brandon.
Here's Brandon with these grocery stores. Let me get this straight, Brandon. So what you do is every morning you get up at a certain time, right?
Oh, I get up early. I mean, you got to milk the cows for all the customers, right? And cook the biscuits, right?
And then you got to go to a place and you get there by a certain time. You got to stay a certain time. Then you leave at a certain time. I don't know how you do that. That's admirable right there in today's world. Seriously. I mean, people don't want to work, put in a hard day's work anymore. So for a guy like you to roll up your sleeves and want to get in there for us, that's great. So you're talking about the process. You were talking about the voting system, the process. What is wrong with the system? Are like dead people voting? Is that the problem?
Well, you do have some of that, but it's not as much as the folks in Louisiana would think it is. But our biggest process, and I'm going to ask you the question, is do you know who counts your vote here in Louisiana?
I do not. I vote at my local church right behind my my house, and I go into a machine, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, you don't know. And so that's what I ask people all the time. Who counts your vote? Most of the time, it's crickets, But nobody knows that if I start pushing them real hard, they say, oh, my registrar counts my vote. No, that's not correct. Well, it's got to be my clerk of court. Nope, clerk of court don't count your vote. Well, Guide Dog tries clear. It's got to be the Secretary of State. No, it's not them either. It's a third-party vendor with proprietary software that tells us what the results of our elections are.
Really?
There's no accountability and there's no transparency. And so you go into a machine, and that machine tells us at the end of the day how we all voted.
How you fix that?
That's crazy.
The second problem that we have is we're the only state in the country that you can't audit our elections. There's no way to go back and audit our elections and verify how the people voted. So how do we do that? I'm going to tell you how we do that. We bring customer service, accountability, and transparency back to the people, and we do it by hand-marked paper ballot. You're going to walk into the polling station. We're going to give you a ballot that's assigned to you. You fill it out, and the people of the community are going to count those ballots. We'll be able to count it and have a certified election within minutes of the polls closing. My plan is nothing like what people are saying about Georgia or Arizona, and they're counting for a week. We're talking about a plan that you'll be finished counting and certified within minutes of the polls closing, and then we're going to take it another step. We're going to put all those ballots on the Secretary of State's website, an image of every one, and that way, I know Ted don't have a lot going on these days, so if he wants to go and audit his parish or his precinct or the whole state, he can go and count the vote. I mean, what an admirable idea, right?
Makes sense to me. It's a fantastic idea. I want to know how you're going to vet the people to count the votes so you don't get a bunch of Louisiana doofuses.
Well, Brandon, didn't you put the heat on, what's his name, Kyle Ardwin?
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of heat.
He's the Secretary of State now, who was running for re-election, but he's backed out now, right?
We put a lot of heat on him as far as to stand behind these Chinese voting machines. And, who can stand behind a Chinese voting machine for number one? Number two,
love this guy.
Number two, we outsource our registration to a third-party vendor in Indiana. And so what the result of that is we have 700,000 people that are inactive and ineligible and should be removed. 700,000. And then the third thing is that our Secretary of State, as the chairman of a National Association of Secretary of State, he was at the forefront of censoring Americans. You're hearing all about the Twitter files and the censorship hearings going on in Congress. Our guy was at the head of that. And so, it got hot in the kitchen, and so he's moved on. And so we got a lot of wind in our sails, a lot of energy, and we're fired up. So,
well, you got to have like some kind of team you're putting together to do this. Is a big job. I mean, where are you getting all these people? I mean, you can't do this by yourself. What are you doing?
Man,
you're going by the Lowe's and picking them up over there? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, hey, whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes. But we got a great team of patriots all across the state. We're traveling. I'm driving back from Shreveport right now. We had an event out here for lunch. We got another event tonight in Baton Rouge. And look, people are getting on board. The people see it. Again, they want the accountability and transparency. And so we have people volunteering all the time, all over the state.
Are you planning on doing an event in New Orleans?
We have events in New Orleans. I've spent quite a bit of time in New Orleans at the Metro Club over there, at the Metairie Republican Women's. We've been in New Orleans probably a dozen times.
Next time you're down here so we can support you and tell people about it and maybe come on over there and grab a couple interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to do that. We'll be back there soon, and we'll definitely send you our schedule over there.
So we were wanting to know also, like, there's got to be more to the Secretary of State position than overseeing elections, right? There's more to it.
Yeah, there is. So the Secretary of State's position oversees 9 museums across the state, like the Delta Music Museum, which you're familiar with, the old state capitol, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I personally think that those responsibilities, those museums should be turned over to the Lieutenant Governor's office. I mean, that's what they do. They do tourism. So give that responsibility over to them. And then also the Secretary of State handles, business commerce, and they're the keeper of the seal. So when you register a new LLC, when you do your annual reports, you go on the GoBiz website and do your filings there. So they handle that. But, and we're going to streamline that. I get a lot of complaints about how unfriendly, user-friendly the GoBiz website is. We're going to fix all that, make no bones about it. But 90% of the job is holding the elections. It's a chief elections officer in the state of Louisiana, and that's where the real problems are. Our most sacred right as Americans is our right to vote, and if you can't get that right, then what do you have?
That is such a
isn't it crazy?
job. Listen, I just admire you like crazy. To want to take on something like this and try to implement the plan that you're talking about. I mean, it's a big job. I hope you're ready to, these stores, what are they going to do without you? You better, I mean, you're hanging around Ralph's a whole lot. You can't hang around Ralph's to do this, Brandon.
Yeah, no doubt. They're operating just fine without me right now. I turned over my responsibilities on January 1st to commit my time and my effort to running this campaign and getting out and touching the people and talking with the people. And anyway, we're having a lot of success. So it's going very well. And it is a big challenge and ahead of us. But look, we got some great people on board, some very talented and smart people that, anyway, we're going to do this and we're going to do it right and give accountability and transparency to the Louisiana taxpayer like they deserve.
Well, so tell me if I heard this right, that with the work you were doing to, kind of investigating the elections in Louisiana, Trump's people got wind of it and encouraged you to enter the race for Secretary of State. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So we continue to have mutual conversations back and forth, and we do expect that endorsement here to come soon. I think they're wanting me to work really, really hard for it, which is fine. I'm not going to outwork anybody in the state on the Secretary of State's office, and so but we continually have conversations with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, the election's not till October 14th. There's you and just one other candidate, as far as I know, right now, right?
Yeah, there's a couple other folks. So there's a Democrat that got into the race last week, and then you have two politicians in the race that want to keep everything the status quo. They want to leave it as it is and leave the machines in place. And I think we're the clear choice, being the only person with business minded that's not a politician in need for a job and is advocating for clear change. I mean, Ted, when you can't audit your own election, how much worse can it be? Yeah. Again, we're the only state in the country that you can't audit your election. So,
but you do need an ID. That's a lot of places you can vote without an ID.
Yeah, definitely you have to have an ID. But I mean, as far as that's concerned, that the Heritage Foundation put a survey out there, and in Louisiana we have an F in proof of citizenship. We have an F in the accuracy of our voter rolls.
Kind of defeats the
purpose. Of course.
Yeah.
I know you don't know this, Brandon, because you don't know me. Teddy knows me, and I don't know if you know this either, Teddy. But I'm a big museum guy. I am. I love museums. I love to go to museums, and I have an idea for a museum. Brandon, tell me what you think of this. How about there on the I-10 between Baton Rouge and Lafayette, the Whiskey Bay exit? We have a Whiskey Bay Museum, and we go and show you where they dump all the bodies. Everybody knows you want to dump a body, you dump the body in Whiskey Bay.
It might be a little difficult to get the funding for that.
Have you ever gotten off there?
Yeah. No, yeah, once.
When you get off there,
there's a bathroom there, right? A restroom.
No, there's nothing.
There's not a thing?
It's a little swamp area, and then you can make a U-turn and go back the other way. There's nothing. If you could get
I must be thinking the other.
Have you ever gotten off at Whiskey Bay, Brandon?
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't want no part of this.
Yeah, it's just like, what? Y'all having your own conversation there. Okay. Well, all right.
Hey, Brandon, listen, we really do appreciate you
coming
man,
I appreciate it.
Teddy speaks very highly of you, has known you for a long time, and knows that you're a man of integrity and someone that wants to roll up his sleeves. I admire you for that. I applaud you for that. And you definitely have my vote. I vote twice.
I hear you. Well, I do appreciate you having me on board. I'm definitely going to give you my schedule, and look forward to being in studio with one guy one of these days. And certainly appreciate Ted as well. Ted.
Oh yeah, before the election, we're going to have you in here. Before the election, between now and October, we'll have you in here definitely. And when the show gets, we put together this podcast, we'll make sure that we forward it to you in advance copies. You can send it to all your friends, okay?
Right?
And they can say how good you sound and how Ted asked a good question and who's the guy cracking all the jokes. That's how it works here.
Sounds like a plan. I'm looking forward to it.
No, really,
all right, sounds good,
God bless
Brandon.
you. You'll be in our prayers, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, good.
Bye-bye.
There he is, Brandon Trustland.
AOTR time capsule with a Mardi Gras 2023 memorable moment.
Hold your hands up. Throw me something, man. And try to smile, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got it. Woo! This is Teddy, little Teddy, the other Teddy, from all over the road, New Orleans.
Hey, permission to enter your camp? Permission to enter your camp. That's proper. Yeah, you have to get permission to enter one's camp. I don't know if you know that. You don't watch old westerns before they come on. They say outdated cultural depictions. Outdated cultural depictions. Hey, I had to stop and talk to you. What's your name?
My name's Casey.
Hey, Casey. I'm Victor. This is Ted. I love the fit.
Oh, thanks.
I do. Now, is this new or is this something you've worn before?
I've worn this before.
You have. And where are you from? Is this your daughter? No? She kind of looks like you. She kind of looks like you. She's your daughter? You don't look old enough. You don't look old enough. They're all daughters. Well, of
She
course.
is,
This
This is cool because you can wear this to LSU game. You can wear this to.
You can't wear that to an LSU game.
Why not?
All right, maybe you can. Maybe you can. What do I know?
The Fleur-de-Lis Saints game.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're from the All Over the Road New Orleans podcast.
Okay.
The #1 ranked podcast
By who? By
in
Eric
Louisiana.
Powers.
Huh?
By J.D. Powers.
Am I for real? Of course I'm for real. I wouldn't be out here sweating if I wasn't real. Look it up. All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast. All right, so now, now, and a lot of the people.
You're for real with the camp.
Look, a lot of the people that follow us, they're not from here, so like to see this kind of stuff. So now, where do you buy a little frock like that?
It's called Walmart.
Really, Tracy? Really, Tracy? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I have 3 pairs of overalls, different designs and colors. So.
Yeah, I once had a friend of mine that passed away, and I got his overalls.
Oh, that sounds.
That's the only overalls I ever. Well, so where'd y'all come in from?
Slidell.
Slidell. There you go. Do they have a Mardi Gras in Slidell? Of course they do. No?
Yeah, we've been Mardi Gras for 5 days for me in the last 2 weeks.
Look at her. I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah, go
What's your name? What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, listen to me, Sarah. Boys are evil.
Okay.
Stay away from them.
Who did your hair? Who did your hair?
I think her hair looks great.
Thank you.
How old are you, Sarah?
8.
You're 8?
9.
Okay. Well, your mom. Where's your mom? Which one's your mom? And what's your name, Mom? Christina. You might want starting to build a cage for her. Yeah, I know. Cage her up and make sure, she's, protected. Yeah. You having fun?
Yes.
Now, did you catch a bunch of stuff? You had to catch a bunch of stuff so far. What you got? Let me see your booty. Let me see your loot. Oh, my God. Let me see. That's, it's a pirate. I'm sorry. Let me see.
She knows that.
I should. What am I, stupid? Okay, so where's your stash? It just came out of my mouth. Let me see your stash. What'd you do with your stash?
It's mostly at home or in the car.
Okay, so you took a break. You went home, dropped off some stuff, and you're getting ready for. Look, have a good time. And I see you got Popeyes. You got what are these finger sandwiches? What are these muffaladas? Where are the brownies?
I don't think we have any.
No brownies. Okay. All right.
But we have gummy bears.
You have gummy bears. No brownies. Thanks, ladies. Appreciate it. Hey, nice look there.
The AOTR Time Capsules takes you back to our conversation with NOLA's very own Ella Grace.
It's the lovely and talented Ella Grace Francis.
Here at All Over the Road New Orleans, the podcast, we'd like to thank all of our listeners, followers, and subscribers for 4 good seasons, and welcome to the show.
Ella, what's happening, baby?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
It's good to have you. Get a little closer to the mic because you're very small. Okay. Ella is a daughter of some dear friends of mine, Nick and Stephanie Francis. And what Ella's been doing, Teddy, is she's been working at Pigeon Forge. You know, Dolly's place.
Yeah, Dollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's been acting and singing. She's obviously a local product from Destrehan. Go Wildcats. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys missed it. It was great. Destrehan won the state
champs.
Yeah, 5A.
They did.
5A. Right.
So they've been, the family's been through some challenges with their mother, Trudy, who's been battling a transplant surgery in Houston.
Yeah.
So they've been kind of back and forth from Nashville to Houston to Pigeon Forge to New Orleans. And Nick, the dad, is a really good friend of mine. And Ella has been singing since she was tiny. I remember the first time I ever heard her sing, they were doing something in the car, and you were really little, Ella, and you were singing one of the Disney was from Frozen, I think.
Oh, the Love is an Open Door song from Frozen.
Open Door.
With
and
my dad.
Finished our sandwiches is one of the lines. We finished each other's sandwiches. It was so cute, you and him, and you were going back and forth. And she's just a wonderful young lady. She's got a lot going on. She's got a new single out called Here I Am.
Yeah.
Ella Grace Francis.
All right.
There she is.
Thanks for coming in.
Now. This Sunday is a very exciting day for you because you are going to be in the Superdome in front of about 70,000 people singing the national anthem.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Now, in Pigeon Forge, you never had a crowd that big, no?
Well, actually, the theater holds about 1,700 people.
I'm talking 70,000.
70,000.
Oh.
Plus plus a TV audience.
Exactly.
Do they show the national anthem? I'm not sure. I think they do.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think they do.
Nevertheless, 70,000 people. That's awesome.
70,000 people. It's going to be exciting, huh?
Yeah.
You're trying to make her nervous? Don't make her nervous.
Nerve-wracking,
Okay.
but very
She's a pro.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get it.
She's already done up in her little Saints garb. That's not till Sunday. We're taping on a Thursday. The Saints played their last game of the season this year. They're on a 3-game winning streak. A little bit too much, too little, too late.
Yeah.
But they're playing the Carolina Panthers. And so tell us a little bit about what you were doing in Nashville real quick. And, what were you acting in? You were in, what was the show?
I was in a show called Christmas in the Smokies at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge. And so we did about 5 shows a day. We would alternate between 4 and 5 shows. And it was just one of the best experiences of my life. It was just amazing. I loved every second of it.
Did they pay you?
They did.
So what was the it was a live play on performance? What did you do? You had a certain role or what?
I had a certain role. It was just a Christmas show just about family, and I was just played the little girl in the family who decorates the tree with grandpa, and it was just so fun. It's just gives you a very sense of home.
Yeah. Well, I can see why she got cast for that role because you're perfect for that role.
I know. She looks
I would
like
say, that's her. She's got the
Christmas in
job.
the Smokies.
Yeah.
So now, did you? Now you did 5 shows a day for how long? Was it for about a month? All of December?
For about 2 months, November and December.
So did you get to meet Dolly?
I did not get to meet Dolly, unfortunately.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Where's Dolly in all this?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's
she's doing NBC Christmas specials and whatever. I've seen her on a couple different ones. Yeah, through the holiday time.
And she did the New Year's Eve thing.
She did that with Miley Cyrus.
Her goddaughter.
Is that her god? I didn't know that.
Really? I didn't know
Miley
that.
Cyrus screwed up her career. She had that hit record in the USA, whatever, and then she got some bad advice.
Is she trying to come back to reality maybe a little bit? I don't know.
No, I don't know, but she got some bad advice. She's very talented.
Maybe Dolly straightened her out.
I thought she was, or Miley Cyrus was great in that sitcom. But anyway, enough of her. So now were there matinee shows too during the week, or were they all at night?
Oh, they're all. We had shows from 12 to 7:30 at night. So we'd have like 12, 2 o'clock, 3:45, 5:45, 7:30.
Okay, now Stephanie is here. Stephanie is her mother. I've known Stephanie for a long time. As a matter of fact, Stephanie and I starred in a show together.
We did. We were married in the show, and we sang together.
Not only did I sing, I danced.
And you did a Heisman pose.
I did a Heisman pose at the end with the nativity scene, which caused a big.
How did I not know about that?
I think we had to have a meeting. After.
Yeah, they had to have a little meeting about that. They have to make a decision. Should we let Vic do one of these again? And of course, I haven't done one since. But that was fun. That was fun.
That was fun. Good times.
And, Stephanie has a singing background, too.
Oh, okay.
And a musical background like her dad. Her dad's very musically inclined, and so is her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't fall too far from the tree. Now, what's up? Now, you got the new single. It's called Here I Am. And that's on the charts, I understand, isn't it?
It was on the iTunes charts for a couple days.
Well, that's the only chart that counts really today, right?
That's
Teddy?
big. I mean, iTunes is huge, obviously. I mean, so if you're on the chart at all, that's a big deal, So, hey, way to go.
That's where people get their music.
150.
Now, Stephanie, when did you know that your daughter was really gifted?
Well, let's see. We were singing around the piano, I think, one day, or we were singing a Martin song. Called Out of His Great Love. And there's this one part where I brought them up loving like that old Southern gospel, and where one of the Martin sisters just belts this big old note. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden in the back seat, I hear the big old note being sung in tune. And I was like, what? Do that again. And she did it again. And she's always loved to perform on stage. I started her in dance very early, and she's just always had a passion for performing. And then we started to realize she could sing. And then she auditioned for a couple of shows locally and got cast in those shows. And out of, quite a few, I don't know what, like hundreds of kids would show up for these shows, and she kept getting picked. And, I was just like, well, maybe there's something to this. And I've just been so proud. And not only is she talented, she's a very, very hard worker, ever the professional, and very focused kid. So very proud of her.
Well, hard work and faith will never let you down. Never will. I remember my first remembrance is this. We have on a couple of occasions around Christmas, Stephanie actually directs it. We have a little children's choir at Lakeview Christian Center. And now we don't have a great big church, but people are spread out. And you might sit on one side of the church and someone sits on the other side, or, you may not necessarily see everybody every day. But I remember her being in the front row singing in one of those Christmas things. I leaned over to Martha and I said, who is that? Well, that's Stephanie's daughter. And it's just really cool to see where you've come. So now what are you doing? Right. Okay. Well, first of all, she's singing I'm going to play your record in a minute. All right. But before we do that, I know you're singing the national anthem at the Saints game, and I have your audition here, which I think was pretty spectacular.
So this is the audition to sing the national anthem.
Well, we took her to a open call. We
at
squeezed
Tipitina's.
it in. It was at Tipitina's, and I think it's still lost on her the iconic stage that she got to sing on, and the sound was incredible. And it was to sing for the Pelicans.
Okay.
And there was tons of people, and then they contacted us a few days later and said they loved her. Would she do the Saints instead? And so we were like beside ourselves.
Yes.
Now look, I'm going to play the audition. I'm going to play the audition, Teddy. And not only does this audition show you how gifted she is and how talented she is, but how polished she is, and just how sweet she is. So here's a little bit of the audition.
My name is Ella Grace Francis, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
I was only going to play half of it, but I got to play it all.
Yeah. Let it go. I'm bumping up over here.
I
Okay.
That's not bad.
Big voice for a little girl there. God has definitely blessed you. There's no doubt. Couple questions. So, where was the audition at?
At the Tipitina's.
At Tipitina's. You said that. Okay. Sorry, Vic.
Jesus.
Now, who was all there? Who judged it, and how many were auditioning against you, I guess, or whatever, to sing National Anthem Sunday?
I have no idea who was there. It's just I believe it's the same contact as we have now, but I really don't know who all was
That's
there
awesome.
at the audition.
Could you just imagine the 70,000 people Sunday?
They're going to go nuts.
They're going to go crazy after they hear this Sunday, the National Anthem. Hey, the Saints might even win.
Who knows?
You never know. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's very good. Very, very good.
I heard it.
Thank you.
And then, actually, I listened to her single, Here I Am.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I was texting with Stephanie, and I said, Stephanie, I go, she sounds a little bit like you. All right. And then I heard the National Anthem. I said, Stephanie, I think she's a little bit better than you.
I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah. She goes, Stephanie goes, well, I taught her some techniques. I taught her some techniques.
She did. Yeah.
But she goes, but if I could sing like that.
Wow. Yes.
So you got the gig, of course. I mean, geez, that's crazy. I almost want to go to that game now.
You should go. I think you can get really cheap.
I mean, I haven't been to a game.
That's true. Last game of the season.
I missed it. What'd you say?
I said you could get some really cheap tickets.
Yeah.
Thank you, studio audience.
Now, are you acting as her manager right now? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, Teddy, she's gotten
my
some
momager.
Yeah, now you got some offers to do some Broadway stuff, didn't you? No? No? I think you're gonna.
Anyway.
I think that's coming.
Sky's the limit.
I think that's coming.
That's
okay, so
exactly
tell us about Here I Am. Tell us about that.
Okay, so
now you wrote it, right?
I did.
Yes.
With help. There's not many songs out there that are very appropriate for like 13-year-old girls or people like me, and so my mom suggested I write one, and that's a great idea. And so the Lord just put us in touch with some amazing people in Pigeon Forge, and we just produced this really great song, and it's just like through the blessings of God, really.
Yeah.
So.
And now, do you play any musical instruments? Or you just sing?
I play a little guitar.
Because that's an
and
instrument.
piano.
Your voice is an instrument.
So briefly before we play it, just tell us what is the song about? What does the lyrics mean?
The song is about just like offering yourself to the Lord, like use me any way you can. I'm here. Like here I am. Mm-hmm. So it's just asking the Lord to just use me because he gave me
Because I'm here and
this,
I'm a vessel, use me.
She's lovely.
Exactly.
I love it. I could talk to her all day.
I could too. Your brother could. Your brother's down there talking. Your brother's downstairs talking to our next guest, and they're a match made in heaven.
In the green room.
They are a match made in heaven. Okay, so you may have heard it on the iTunes charts.
Yeah. Yep.
This is Ella Grace and her new single. It's called "Here I Am" on All Over the Road, the podcast.
Seems like only yesterday I was daddy's little girl, but now everything is moving fast in my complicated world. Not a kid anymore, but not grown up yet. Just how much more confusing could my situation get? So many feelings washing over me. So many things I want to do and want to be. I'm not perfect, but I like who I'm becoming. So now into my bright future, I
Cap can't hit us on that one, that's for sure, because we got permission from the artist to play it. Ella Grace, what a beautiful song. Here I Am. Wow, that's great.
I could definitely. Oh, we got a spy playing.
What's that?
I don't know. There was some good went on, but I could hear that song on the radio. Definitely.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's got as we say in radio, it's got the hook, right?
It does.
It's got the melody.
She's marketable.
It's got the lyrics.
Yeah.
She's marketable.
We just got to keep her away from all the sleazy people. You know, run them by Nick. Nick will take care of that. Her husband. You don't want to mess with him. Let me tell you something. He's a big, strong fella.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that.
Now, you were saying during the song, we had the mics down, but you were saying, Vic, you know the person who
Michael Caldwell
did the instruments on a computer, but you know him.
I do know
wow.
him. Yeah.
He's also our co-writer.
He's the co-writer.
Co-writer of the song.
Yeah. Tell my son, he knows my brother. My brother knows him more than me, but I've met him before.
Oh, wow.
You know, we had a talent coach that came in here in the very early stages of our podcast. His name is Randy Lane with the Randy Lane Group. And what he does is he coaches talent. And he is the guy that hired Ryan Seacrest at Star in Los Angeles. Ryan was coming from Atlanta. He was a 22-year-old young guy breaking into the radio business. So here's my friend, Randy Lane, getting ready. He's interviewing Ryan Seacrest. I think we've told this story before on the podcast.
Yeah, probably.
And so he asks Ryan this. He goes, where do you see yourself in 10, 20 years? And Ryan said this, or what do you aspire to be? And he told Randy, I want to be, this is Ryan Seacrest, I want to be the next Dick Clark. Okay.
Wow.
And of course he is. He's doing his New Year's Eve show, Rockin' New Year's Eve, Dick Clark, hosted by Ryan Seacrest. Of course, American Idol, everything. I mean, the guy owns everything.
Yeah.
And so I would ask you now, okay, where do you see yourself, Ella Grace, in, 10 years or so? You're 13. 10 years will be 23. Where do you see yourself?
Well, like my song says, like from the opera to the Opry, from the altar to the stage, he's still writing my story. I can't wait for the next page. And that's just really what my life is right now. Like, I don't know. The Lord could just have me as a worship leader in my church and I'd be content with that. Or the Lord could have me on Broadway and I'd be content with that. Or just like maybe the next Dolly Parton. And I would be like, if that's where the Lord wants me to be. But there's so many different things that I can do. And
well, you act too.
Oh, I do.
You're double. Yes. You're a triple threat. And of course, in 2 years, maybe a little American Idol. I'm sure you'd get on that. I'd love to see you on American Idol. Love American Idol.
Well, I'd love to do that.
I'd love to see you on there. What do you think about that, Mom? Her on American Idol.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember? Did you ever come to my house back in the day for the American Idol parties? I know Miss Martha did.
Did you? Martha's in the studio.
Parties all the time.
Yeah.
Out in Destrehan, all the parties. Yeah, it would be incredible. We're just trying to. There's a lot to learn on the business end of it, and we're just praying for open doors and for closed doors, and we'll see. It's been a fun ride so far. So
it has.
Well, Ella, we are praying for your grandma, Trudy, on a regular basis, and Mike, her dad, Mike, has the most awesome hair.
Steve.
Or Steve. Who's Mike?
Mike Caldwell was the co-writer.
Oh, her grand.
Ella Grace's granddad.
Okay.
Steve.
So your dad is Steve.
And I'm calling you old.
My dad.
Yeah, right,
My dad.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
your dad. Okay,
Steve.
Mom's
And
dad.
Steve
Grandpa.
was our choir director, and I like Steve because Steve liked me, and I used to get parts. And then with other people, when Steve left, I didn't get any parts anymore.
Yeah.
But Steve liked me.
Because of the Heisman pose.
And I like Steve, and he has the greatest hairdo. And I can tell you this about Steve. I saw him once drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's, and his hair was perfect. So I had to.
Yeah.
Ella, I know it's nothing but, a bright future for you. I know you're grounded. You're I couldn't be more impressed. And people, if you get a chance to go to the Superdome this Sunday, check her out. 70,000 people. Ella Grace, the lovely and talented.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for being on our show.
so much for
you're the
having
most.
me.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one.
That's all right. That's never happened before. Hey, we're gonna follow your career. Keep our audience up to date on what's happening, and keep them up to date. Yeah, what's going on with Ella Grace for sure.
Well, thank y'all so much for having me on here. This has been so fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun, huh?
It
I
is.
like it, huh? Ella Grace, ladies and gentlemen.
Seems like only yesterday I was daddy's little girl, but now everything is moving fast in my complicated world. Not a kid anymore, but not grown up yet. Just how much more confusing could my situation get?
the All Over the Road New Orleans Time Capsule, taking you back in time for some memorable moments.
Coming to Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So now you grab my grape soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Testing 1, 2. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, so y'all got to, just so you know, you got to work these mics fairly close. You can't get too close, really. You can get too far, but you can't do too close.
Give me a check, Ella.
Hello.
One more.
Hello.
There you go. How's your headphones?
I don't hear anything through them.
How's that?
I still don't hear anything.
How's this?
Whoa. Yes, I hear it.
How are yours, Stephanie?
These are too loud.
Too loud? Okay. How's that?
Testing. Good.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Can we turn mine down a little bit?
You want your volume down a little bit?
Your headphone?
For your voice?
Well, there's nothing you can do about that.
Your glass.
Why didn't you say that once we started? That would have been good.
I know. Just well, yeah, you never know what's going to come out.
All right, I'll bring my house. I can leave it. Okay, how's that? Better?
Yeah, we're
good. Better?
A little lower.
A little lower?
A little lower.
Well, it's your headphones.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Is this you? No.
That was me, but you can put it back toward. Put it back down.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, it's too loud.
Right there?
It's really, really loud.
Testing. How's this?
We want you all to be happy.
How's this?
We still want eardrums intact.
Yeah, still have eardrums when you leave here today.
How's this?
That's good.
Okay.
And see, Vic compares every headphone level to his, which is maxed out. So, yeah, but that's yours.
Not maxed out.
It was pretty close.
This is me,
It was
right
pretty
here.
close. Okay, well, you know. Years of radio headphones will do that to you or me or us. Anyways.
All right. Ella Grace. Eddie, here we go.
Hey, couillon, laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. And what that means is it's time to party, y'all. It's time to have some fun. Laissez les bon temps rouler. You got it.
The All Over the Road. Listen or comment live. Say whatever you want. 24 hours a day. Tell a story. Give your opinion.
You'll be on the next podcast. So go ahead. Don't be shy. Call 504-603-6753.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by CoinTrader Inc. For real-time prices on gold, silver, palladium, and platinum 24/7, go to goldpricesnow.com. That's goldpricesnow.com.
We thank you all. This is the announcer guy speaking. For 4 seasons and All Over the Road, the podcast, New Orleans.
2023 Time Capsule.